Hello there everybody, welcome to my channel where I'm going through all the pocket knives that I inherited from my grandfather, which I am selling, but before I do, I'm researching them and showing off the history and presenting them to you fine folks. Normally I just kind of get right into it, but in this particular knife that I have, it's pretty darn unique, so I'm going to take my time with it and show it off to everybody. Please note that everything that I'm about to talk about on this pocket knife is just my internet researching, talking to ChatGPT that helped me identify this pocket knife. So I'm bound to get things wrong or be misinformed, or I could be completely wrong. I don't know. Feel free, as I know everybody would be, to make comments and tell me this, that, or the other. So with that said, please be kind. From what I understand, this is an SFM or SMF late war RB numbered second model. And what the heck does that mean? That means that this comes from World War II, and it was made in Germany for the German Air Force, the German Luftwaffe. So it's pretty interesting. I believe this makes it pretty valuable. This will, we'll never know until all is said and done, but this might end up being the most valuable pocket knife. It's not a pocket knife, but a knife in my grandfather's collection. I do not know where, when, who, anything about this pocket knife. I don't know where he would have picked it up. I find it, highly suspect that he found it at a flea market, but you never know. Maybe when I originally first got this, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was just kind of assembled maybe in the 1970s or something like that, and somebody had put it together, because there's not a lot of there's no manufacturer stamp on it or anything, but there's a lot of indicators to tell me what it is. So with that said, it is a gravity knife. It's got these are wood handles. They're in good shape. Overall, this knife is in excellent shape. I'm going to kind of repeat what ChatGPT was telling me. There are rounded pins. These aren't screws, that kind of thing. It does have like tarnishing on it and stuff like that. And the fact that this is wood would indicate that this is World War II. Has this marlin spike here, and on this marlin spike there is this insignia, and that insignia is supposed to mean that this is an SMF, and SMF means Solingen Metallwaarenfabrik, which I believe translates to metalworks factory in Solingen. So that's that. I just mentioned there's no Ting stamp or whatever marking, manufacturing marking, so I guess I'm kind of a liar, because I believe that's what that is. And this thing opens up like this, and to be a marlin spike, and snaps closed pretty well. And then the knife part of it is a gravity knife, so that means I'm not going to be able to sell this on eBay. But you flip this switch up, and it doesn't do anything like that, but if you kind of push down on this lever and let gravity take the wheel there, the knife pops out, and then it stays in place while it's like that, and you can lock this back, and it stays that way. And then to put it back in, you push down on this lever, and it falls back in place. And there you go. So it's a gravity knife. Not legal in all states, but I'll have to figure out what to do on that. So when I originally saw it, it has these markings in there, so that's kind of an indicator of what things are. I think that says 723 or something like that, about what it is. And then but on here there's like no Tang stamp or anything like that. It's blued, but that's kind of worn off, but the blade is really nice. It's not tarnished or anything, nothing chipped or reprofiled or anything. So that's pretty cool. And then, you know, I thought that that was it, but I have found out that you can disassemble it. And you would disassemble it by pushing in on this button, and then this cover comes off. And it has a marking here of 428. That will be important later. And then, excuse me, I might end up fumbling around here a bunch, but this will open up, and the actual blade part will come out. You kind of gotta have that open like that, and then that blade part will come out. And so it actually disassembles here, and this here says 428, so they are matching parts. And I forget where the other one was. I think it's, is that it? Yeah, and that is 428. So all the parts are of the same sort of manufacturing thing there. And where was it that I saw? I'm trying to remember now. All right, sorry, I had to figure out where some of these numbers are. So all those 428 numbers apparently is a good indicator that this is authentic, because all these parts match. And those are assembly numbers. So that's a good thing. So pretty darn interesting. And then you can put this, you put this back together. And I'm certainly gonna fumble around with that. Oh, not too bad. That goes back in here. That guy. This guy goes back down. And there you go. And then on here is this RB number that you can look it up. The RB stands for, I'm going to try to pronounce this in German, Reichsbetriebsnummer, and then it has a number, and that's why it's called an RB numbered. I guess late in the war they started not having like manufacturer stuff, and they referred to them by number instead of manufacturer, and that's how they can tell that it's late war. So pretty darn interesting. I believe this is authentic. I've seen other examples online of these sold, and they look pretty much like this. You know, bale working and in good shape. It's not all rusted or beat up or anything. You know, clearly used, because the bluing is worn off and there's scratches on it and things like that. But all intact and all working, and all, from what my internet researching has shown me, seems to be all authentic stuff. So interesting German Luftwaffe knife. I guess these were made for, you know, anybody who's in the air, paratroopers, pilots, etc., 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 as far as I understand. So please, if anybody has any more info or any comments on that, let me know. I think that's just super interesting, and super unexpected. My grandfather he did serve in World War II, but he served in the Navy, and he was in the Pacific Theater. He was a naval firefighter. So they would station him on airports to fight fires if any airplanes crashed or whatnot. So kind of interesting. No idea who, you know, so as far as I know, it came from my grandfather, and that's it. I don't know if it was in the war. I don't know. I mean, I guess it was, because it was manufactured then, but I don't know if it was used or how he got it or anything. So I don't know the provenance, other than my grandfather owned it. So pretty darn interesting. So I guess that's about gonna do it for this guy. Hope you find that interesting like I do, and hopefully I didn't embarrass myself too much describing this. And thanks for sticking around this long. Hope you're having a good day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.